Welcome to the award-winning Friday Night Sports Zone, brought to you by Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. Get ready for all the scores, all the plays, and some great fan action. Now, here's Ryan Wilson and Jackson Wazinski.
All right, everyone, I hope you stayed as dry as possible on this Friday night of high school football here. We're here, have it all here for you on the 13 Sports Zone. Ryan Wilson, Jackson Wazinski here. Another busy night in the tri-state area with some marquee matchups. We did have some teams looking to get back on track. Yeah,
that's right, Ryan. For the teams that lost last week, they did not want to go 0-2 today, and some teams were hoping to start their season strong at 2-0, that is. So a lot of good games overall tonight.
Yeah, and we will apologize. We don't have every final score. Some games are still going on.
That's not our fault,
Some games got suspended to tomorrow, so we'll give you what we can. Our headline of the night, though, happened to be over at Bob Sang Stadium between two perennial state powers in Huntington. Our game of the week, sponsored by Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House. The Huntington Highlanders taking on the Martinsburg Bulldogs. The action starts on the opening kickoff. Andreas Reese, he's going to field it here. He's going to find a seam, break it some tackles, and he's got an opening. Can he use his speed to get all the way to the end zone? Not quite. He's brought down just inside the 20. Highlanders in business, and they'd capitalize. Tavion Wilson is going to let Reese complete the drive on third down, finds him into the end zone. Beautiful diving catch, 7-0. Huntington leads. Martinsburg trying to move the ball. His Bulldogs quarterback Brian Dick is going to lob it up. Boston Todd's down there, but that play is beautifully broken up by Reese. And he had quite the first quarter, but Boston Todd, just an electric player for Martinsburg. Here he fields the punt from the 36. He's going to shed some tacklers, and he's going to get to the outside, and he uses his speed. He gets all the way to the end zone on the 64-yard punt return touchdown, tying the game up at 7. Here's when the rain started to come down. Huntington scoring again. They hand it off to Trayvon Okonkwo. He scores standing up. Huntington would take a 16-7 lead. This game would go into a lightning delay, resume around 10 o'clock. Currently, Huntington with under 5 minutes left, trying to hold on. They're up 22-20. It'd be something if they won this one.
It's still going on at 11 o'clock. That's
How about
crazy.
That?
All right, let's head over to Charleston, another playoff rematch. George Washington waving hello to Hurricane. They're intimidating them. Hurricanes looking for their first win of the season. Let's get into the highlights here. First GW drive. Jaden Black looking to get the running offense going. That's a nice 15-yard gain that would kind of start the offense going for GW tonight. Later in that drive, quarterback Cy Persinger sees a wide-open Samaje Welsi for a walk-in touchdown. He can't get it, and he was not happy about that one. But don't fear, Jaden Black is here. He's running with all the blockers in front of him, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone for a diving touchdown to the pylon. And that's just a great play for Jaden Black. He was doing that all night. Freshman, yeah. Freshman, too. Hurricane trying to get on the board with their running back, A.J. Gregory, but he's going to hurdle somebody. Saquon Barkley-esque from last year. He just forgot to turn around while he was in the air. That was really all Hurricane can do this game. That game is actually still going on right now in the fourth quarter. George Washington is up 38-6.
Seems like they have that one in hand. Let's head over to Putnam County. The Winfield Generals at home welcoming in the Herbert Hoover Huskies. A little bit of a rivalry here. Didn't look like it, though. Peyton Grigsby hands the ball off to Blake Fisher, runs right up the middle and dives into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. Quickly, Hoover's up 7-0. Next Hoover drive, Grigsby dropping back to pass. He's going to find Fisher on the receiving end. Crosses easily into the end zone for another touchdown. Nice little celebration at the end, a little shoulder bump. But Grigsby was flinging it. Going to drop back and look upfield. Aiden Hernandez is wide open. Not a defender in the picture. He kind of showboats a little bit there, but he scores.
No flags.
80 yards out. Now this game has been suspended. Hoover has a 28-0 lead. They will resume play on Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
All right, sounds good. Now to Crawford Field, the St. Albans Red Dragons. They're hosting the Nitro Wildcats in the Battle of the Bridge. Look at that trophy there.
Cool trophy.
Magnificent. I wish I could have one of those. Early in the game, Nitro quarterback Ian Duffy hands it off to his running back, who pushes across the end zone for the first score of the game. Nitro will go up 7-0. Next drive for Nitro, Duffy scans the field. He's looking for another score, but it ends up getting picked off by the Red Dragons. What a great defensive play there for St. Albans. And they would continue on here for Nitro. They just keep getting the ball back. Duffy hands it off to his running back. That's going to be an easy walk-in touchdown for Nitro. They'll go up 14-0, and this game also had several lightning delays. Nitro holds a 14-0 lead in the second quarter, and with the weather in the area, that game will resume tomorrow at 11 a.m.
A quick one here. Let's go over to Knight Stadium in Ona. Home debut for Eric Fetty and Cabell Midland hosting Capital. He didn't get much of this because of the weather. Last play of the first half, here's Logan Scholl trying to make something happen. He fires it to the end zone for the Hail Mary, but it's going to be intercepted by DiMaggio Spencer. And this one's still in the fourth quarter. Capital with a 27-13 lead over Cabell Midland.
Oh, Cabell Midland, up to Mason, the defending state champion. Wahama White Falcons taking on Tyler, consolidated at home. Tyler quarterback Reese Davis throws it up for his receiver, Gideon Winfrey, who's open near the safeties, and he gets over the goal line for the touchdown. Wahama driving now for a jet sweep on the right side of the sideline for a nice pickup of 15 yards for Trayvon Beers. Fans and cheerleaders, they're having a good time at that game today. No rain to speak of over there. Hey, they're having fun.
Looks dry.
Later that drive, Wahama putting it through the air for another short gain for Bears again, trying to get down to the end zone. They're driving this play. Next one, an easy up the middle run for Wahama. Scoring on that play, and the White Falcons move on to win over Tyler, consolidated 28-13.
Let's go down to Madison, another one that had several delays. This one finished though. Scott taking on the Wayne Pioneers. First drive for Wayne. They're pinned inside the 5. Trey Hayton bobbles the snap, and the Skyhawks fall on it. That's a great play to capitalize here. Third down from the 3-yard line, though. Nate Easterline fakes the pitch, but is met by Armando Batista in the backfield. Scott has to settle for a field goal. The rain absolutely pouring down on both teams. Skyhawks with the ball again. Mason Brown recovering from the stumble and shedding an arm tackle. He's going to get down the sideline for a 30-yard gain. This game would be delayed by lightning. The Skyhawks could not score in the second quarter, though. Eli Haffer hits Dante Worrell in the flats. He's going to break 4 tackles before he gets a nice gain. In the end, though, Wayne wins this one 16-9 over Scott. Skyhawks still looking for their first win of the year.
Scott, gotta get a win here soon. Let's go to Summersville. The Nicholas County Grizzlies had their home opener against Chapmanville, who's looking for their second straight win. Chapmanville with the football, and quarterback Dakota Dahlman, we told you about him last week. He does it all. He's doing it with his legs in this game in the first half, forcing Nicholas County to stay on their toes on defense. They'd go on to score a touchdown that drive and make the point after. Nicholas County with the football now, handing it off to their running back, who forgets the football is in his hands. Chapmanville defense, they're showing up tonight for this game. Later on in the first half, Deneve Nash gets a direct snap and is slippery with the football again. It's the second time losing it. Giving it right back to Chapmanville. The Grizzlies would get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for arguing that play. It did kind of look like he was in. But next Chapmanville possession, Dakota Dahlman throws a short pass to Trey Ward. It gets around the defenders. Sprints along the sideline. Cameraman, watch out. He's going for a Superman dive in the end zone. He gets it. Chapmanville will go on to win this one to go 2-0, 24-12.
That's one of the games that finished. Didn't have a lot that finished tonight. We still get some scores coming in. We'll keep you updated as we can. We'll still ahead. We've got some big matchups from across the river.
That's right, including Wheelersburg taking on Jackson and Boyd County as well. If you want to stick around for all of that, we'll be right back after the break.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to some Friday Night Football. We've got some more highlights for you. Let's go over to Ohio, Jackson. 2 teams looking to build off of big victories. I kind of hinted at something there.
Yeah, we head to the city that shares my name.
There you go.
As these 2 teams were battling, each looking to get to 3-0. My Jackson Ironmen were at home tonight, welcoming in the Wheelersburg Pirates. Look at those jerseys, they're beautiful. Let's start with an Ironman possession in the first half. Quarterback Bodie Walford looking to get rid of the ball. He makes that connection with his receiver, Ryan Simons, right on the sideline. He toe taps to stay in, almost a touchdown, didn't get there quite. But they're still right on the goal line. Next play, Wolford hands the ball off to Gavin Seitz, who manages to find an opening and dive into the end zone. Ironmen lead to 7-0. The fans love it there in my city. Pirates are looking to push back. Braylon Rucker fakes the handoff, looking to throw long. He's going to make that connection with Brady Doss deep into Ironman territory. He's wide open with nobody around for the touchdown. Pirates tie it up 7-7. There was a lot of back and forth in this game, but the Pirates ended up coming out on top. With a final score of 17-7.
That just must be brutal for Jacksons out there, high schools and Rosinski's. Let's go to South Point. The Pointers at home taking on the Golden Rockets of Wellston. Start off with the Pointers. KJ McLean hands to Landon Vance. First down run, shedding some tacklers. And he's brought down by Jay Deck there with the horse collar penalty. Add 15 yards there in business. Now McLean handing off to Vance again. And he's right up the middle, breaking tackles. Dives into the end zone, touchdown. 6-0, 2-point conversion, no good. Southland quarterback KJ McLean handing off to Landon Vance. And he gets to the outside. Nice blocking on the outside. He's brought down by a face mask. His helmet comes off. Safe to say that's a penalty on Grayson Sites there.
Wow.
Now McCain finding Vance in all kinds of forms. This time a pass.
Just keeps
for
doing
the touchdown. Game went into a lightning delay in this one. South Point was leading it 24-0.
Wow. What a game. Let's head up to Mason County. Point Pleasant looking to bounce back against Gallia Academy. Blue Devils with the ball. They faked the handoff, and he faked out Keith, our cameraman. The QB still has the ball, Keith, and he's running down the sidelines. And he's brought down inside the red zone. What a play there, faking out our own guy. Fans love it.
The Gallipolis crowd making the trip over. Not that far.
All right, the Black Knights with the ball. Caden Hill fires this one over the middle. And it'll be caught by Anthony Marrero for the first down, but they're unable to capitalize. Blue Devils with it again as they throw into traffic. And look at this crazy play. It's going to be picked off. Right there. Braxton Bauer, but it would not be enough. Gallia Academy defeats South Pleasant in this one, 28-21.
Sports Center top 10. Maybe grab a hold of that. That was a nice play. It bounced off. Caught it rolling out of bounds.
The only thing that would make it better if it was one-handed or something.
If Odell Beckham did, that would have been sweet.
That would be cool.
All right, we've got some more when we come back. We've got our weekly awards to dish out.
That's right, plus one final look ahead to the big game tomorrow in Athens. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. We've got some awards to dish out. First, I'll take care of the player of the week. Now, this is a player who still has plenty to go because his game got suspended. I picked Herbert Hoover's Blake Fisher, scored a couple of early touchdowns in the game against Winfield. He got the rushing touchdown there. Then you see Grigsby drop it back to pass. He finds him over the middle there for the receiving touchdown. He's already got two. Hoover with a 28-0 lead in the third quarter. I figure by tomorrow he'll have a couple more by the time the game's over.
Wow. I'd say I'll agree with that one. Let's take a look at the play of the week. This is the game I was at, Hurricane versus George Washington. Hurricane running back A.J. Gregory hurdles a man in the open field. I alluded to it earlier. It's kind of like that Saquon Barkley thing that happened last year. He just kind of missed the turnaround a little bit, and then he also got slammed by the defender. But hey, that was pretty cool.
Great
it was
athletic
like a track meet out there. It was awesome.
The Gold and Blue Nation Mountaineer Minute is brought to you by your local 5-star Chevy dealers.
All right, let's talk some Mountaineers now. WVU's got a big game tomorrow in Athens against those feisty Ohio Bobcats.
Gold and Blue Nation's Ryan Decker has more in Morgantown.
West Virginia makes its first road trip of the season this weekend as the Mountaineers face the Ohio Bobcats inside Peden Stadium on Saturday. West Virginia has not faced Ohio since 2001 when Rich Rodriguez got his first head coaching victory with WVU. Rodriguez was 25-12 in true road games in his first tenure with the Mountaineers. Parker Navarro and Ohio amassed 440 yards of total offense in Week 1 versus Rutgers. Both WVU and Ohio were perfect in the red zone during their season debuts. However, Ohio picked third in the MAC preseason poll, gave up 31 first-half points to the Scarlet Knights, and couldn't complete the comeback. Our pregame coverage begins with the Rich Rodriguez Show at 9 a.m. on these same Nexstar stations and continues with Mountaineer Game Day at 10 o'clock with myself and Sydney Carriel live from Athens. That's the latest on the Mountaineers here in Morgantown. I'm Ryan Decker.
Yeah, Ryan Decker and Golden Blue Nation crew, not the only ones going to be there. We will be there tomorrow in Athens. It's going to be a very exciting game. Cannot wait to see. It's sold out, you know.
And well, you shouldn't say we, though. I'm not going to be there.
Well, we is in 13.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think is going to happen in that one? I think this one could get very interesting.
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a close game.
Absolutely.
You know, if Ohio comes in to their home stadium and pulls that win, that's going to be disastrous for Mountaineers, I think.
It's going to be a sea of blue and gold, too. It's a sellout, but you have to think that...
They bought the season tickets, right?
Right. They bought season tickets. It's the only way they can take this game. And
it's awesome.
And they've said all week it's not a look-ahead spot because they got Pitt next week.
Right, and I'm going to that game.
There you are. So they need to make sure they're locked in and they get this win.
Good practice round, right?
Yeah. Marshall's got their home opener against Missouri State tomorrow as well.
That's
6 o'clock. Yeah. First FCS to FBS. Then Ohio State plays Grambling, Ole Miss plays Kentucky. It's all the time we have for tonight. Scores and highlights over on WOWKTV.com.
And head over to our app on TV, WOWK Plus, for the point after, right after this.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.